Hi guys. Um, last of my surgical treatments for the cervical cancer tomorrow, and then hopefully that's cured. I mean, it's unfortunately not the end of the journey for me. I still have another few things to go through. Um, it a couple of things that maybe I was told, and you're just given so much information at the beginning. I don't think you realize it. Um, but my arms hurt so much. I've still got so much bruising under the skin from the tracking from weeks and weeks ago that I mentioned it. I've got really bad pain in this part of my hand from one of the anesthetics. I've got bruises up my arm. Um, my arms hurt so much. I'm running out of veins for them to use, whether it's, yeah, it's, I understand why people have ports put in, because my arms are so sore. This week I have been horrifically exhausted. I have just been so tired. I've not been sick or unwell. It's just tired. The other thing that I have noticed about myself is my inability to regulate my body temperature. We're coming into spring. It's getting warm. The sun's out. I am literally in two jumpers because and sweatpants and fluffy slippers because I am just so cold all the time. And I've talked to another people that have been through this, and they also say even years later they struggle with body temperature. So, in myself, I'm still pretty upbeat. I'm just exhausted with, and it's because I have quite severe insomnia. It's quite interesting, and this an insomniac that can't stay awake. I'm used to having a 20-hour day and a couple of hours sleep. Um, I allow for an hour to get to sleep, an hour to kind of think, oh, I'm not getting to sleep, and a couple of hours sleep. But it's just like the days are so short because there's just no time you're really awake. Um, I'm glad we're coming to the end, even though like it's only one chapter for me because do have multiple cancers. But yeah, I will hopefully get some of the fluid off, get some of the weight off that I've put on during this process, because I mean, I think a lot of the weight that's gone on is because you wake, you eat, you go back to sleep, you're not actually doing anything. So, since the brachytherapy, I've got to be honest, my appetite has been next to nothing. I seem to have the energy to make a meal or eat a meal, but I don't have the energy to do both. So I now have very fat chickens because they're just eating the food, because I just, by the time I've made food, I don't want it. I just want to go back to bed. So, but one of the things that I don't think I realised, when someone says they're sore and they're going through chemo, radiation, specifically the radiation thing, is they mean they're sore everywhere. A lot of people will pat your shoulder or touch your hand, but it hurts and it leaves bruises under your skin, and it is really important that you give people their personal space, because it is sore to give someone a hug. You have to actually like them enough to be prepared to accept that level of pain. My whole body is sore. Someone patted me on the knee, my knees were crossed, and the ankle from that knee that they patted caused bruises on my other knee, because that's how tender your skin and your whole system becomes towards the end of it. So I'm doing the surgery tomorrow, which I admit I am not looking forward to. I don't want to do it. My daughter will be dragging me screaming and kicking, but it'll be the final one, and then hopefully we'll be told that the cervical cancer is cured, and then we move on to the next one. But I do get a couple of weeks break to kind of get a bit of my energy back, a bit of my bounce back. So I am looking forward to that. My cat has loved the process, because it loves me being in bed and it gets to curl up with me. So that's been good. So I'm kind of at the other end now with this journal. Tomorrow's the last of the big things, and then is the next chapter, and see what happens then. But like this week has been, I've been so fatigued. I've had a few bad days with it, but other than that, it's worth doing to come out the end. I do understand why people would give up or stop treatment, because it's not easy, but thankfully I've been able to get through it, and once I get through tomorrow, the cervical cancer's dealt with, and then we'll deal with the other cancers. Thank you for coming along this journey with me. I know I keep promising tarot and it just doesn't happen, but I just really had to stay awake to make anything happen at the moment. So once I get my bounce back, then yes, this will be coming out of health updates and back into tarot. Thank you for your support. Thank you to a person who left me cake out the front of my house. I really appreciate that. Thank you to those that have bought me food, that have prayed for me, that have sent me healing and sent me love. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.